Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. We're going to talk about the four lefties who are in Mesa as a result of being a non-roster invitee. And we're going to go through each of them. I think they're very similar. And I think when we're done, I think the conclusion we can come to is kind of makes sense why all four of these guys were invited. They're very similar. I think they bring very similar upside. So I think the Cubs started with the mindset of what would we want in if we needed one of these lefties. And they all sort of have similar paths. They range between 29 and 32 years old. They all have some major league experience, but not a lot. The Thomas Pannone has 118 and 2/3 innings of work in the major leagues. He's the highest. So they're just very similar, but they all have very interesting stories too. And I think I hope you enjoy going through it. I certainly had a good time when I did the research on them. Just an interesting group. So the four pitchers are Thomas Pannone. We're going to do him first. He's got the most major league experience. Then we'll do Richard Lovelady, then Brad Wieck, and we'll finish with Edwin Escobar. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Thomas Pannone, 29 years old. He'll be 30 years old on April 28th. 6 foot 209 out of Cranston, Rhode Island. Cubs actually drafted Thomas in the 2012 draft where they selected him, 33rd third round. He didn't sign. Instead, he goes to the College of Southern Nevada, where he goes 6-2 with a 1.84 ERA in 53 and 2/3 innings. And he's drafted the next after that year in 2013 by the Cleveland Indians, 9th round, and he signs. So he's assigned to rookie ball. He goes to the Arizona League and pitches 16 innings, has a 9.0 ERA. So it didn't go great. In 2014, he again returns to rookie ball, pitches 45 innings, goes 5-0 with a 3.2 ERA. So it went much better in his second shot at rookie ball. In 2015, they assigned him to their single-A affiliate, the Lake County Captains. He pitches 116 and a third innings over 27 games, has a 4.2 ERA, 120 strikeouts. So in his first full season of professional ball, he does pretty well. In 2016, he spends the first half of the season back with the Lake County team, and then he's promoted to their High A affiliate, the Lynchburg Hillcats, in July. In 2016 total, he goes 8-5 with a 2.57 ERA, 122 strikeouts in 133 innings. So at this point, it's going pretty well. In 2017, he starts the season back with Lynchburg, but soon in May, he gets promoted to the Double-A Akron Rubber Ducks. That's right, the Rubber Ducks of Akron, the Double-A affiliate. Then midsummer, July 31st, he gets traded to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays immediately assign him to their Double-A affiliate, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. He goes 9-3 with a 2.36 ERA, 149 strikeouts in 144 and 2/3 innings. Pretty good. So good that on November 20th, the Blue Jays put him on their 40-man roster to protect him from that December's Rule 5 draft. So it's going pretty well for Thomas Pannone to this point. 2018, that's when it kind of hits the skids a little bit. March 26th, he's suspended for 80 games. He failed a PED drug test. The drug they found was dihydrochlormethyltestosterone. So he's suspended for 80 games. After returning from the 80-game suspension, he's assigned to the AAA Buffalo Bisons. And then shortly thereafter, he's called up. He's called up on August 9th. His first major league start was on August 22nd, 2018. He takes a no-hitter into the 7th inning against the Orioles. So Thomas Pannone, really, the first two seasons of rookie ball, then at low A, his progression was really good. And then he makes a splash in his debut in the bigs, taking a no-hitter into the 7th. Then in 2019, he makes the opening day roster. He's in the pen. So he's on the opening day roster, and he has another outstanding performance. He throws an immaculate inning against the Rays 2 weeks into the season. So Thomas Pannone, takes off like a rocket. Has the setback with the PED suspension, comes back and pitches really well. And then that 2020 season, guys, this COVID season has disrupted a lot of players. And what I've noticed is, doing all these profiles, pitchers about this age, 29, 30-year-old guys, players in general, because of the timing, they were, 2, 3, 4 years into the professional career, trajectorying the right way, maybe knocking on the door, and then 2020 comes, and it just throws off that trajectory. It disrupts their momentum. And I've noticed that to be a common denominator with a lot of these players in this age range, late 20s now, that the 2020 COVID year was devastating to these guys. So whatever the details were, he gets DFA'd on August 24th. He didn't pitch an inning. So he's DFA'd. So the quick start, the major league debut, he's sort of starting over. November of 2020, he signs a minor league contract with the Angels. Angels sign him to their AAA affiliate, the Salt Lake Bees, to start the 2021 season. And Thomas, it didn't go well. 5-11 with a 7.07 ERA in just 24 games. In 2022, he signed with the Red Sox in March. The Red Sox assigned him to their AAA affiliate, the Worcester Red Sox, where he goes 5-3 with a 4.57 ERA in 63 innings. Decent, but the Red Sox released him on June 27th. On June 28th, he goes ahead and he signs with the Kia Tigers of the KBO, the Korean Baseball League. Finishes 2022 with them, 14 starts, goes 3-4 with a 2.72 ERA in 82 2/3 innings. After that season, in December of 2022, he signs a minor league contract with the Brewers. Starts 2023 with their AAA affiliate, the Nashville Sounds. Then, June 28th, he gets called up. Brewers call him up. He pitches in one game, goes 2 1/3, allows 2 runs, gave up 5 hits, struck out 4. 2 days later, they DFA'd him. He cleared waivers, and then they just released him on July 5th. So July 6th of last year, midsummer of last year, he goes ahead and re-signs with the Kia Tigers team that he played for in 2022. He goes back over and pitches for them the rest of the season. So Cubs signed him on December 18th, 2023. Non-roster invitee to the 2024 spring training. So we'll have to see. Here's what he throws. He's got a cutter that he throws most of the time. In 2023, he threw it 51% of the time. It's an 87.5 mile per hour cutter. He's got a 90 mile an hour four-seamer that he throws about 30% of the time. And he's got a curve, 76 mile an hour curveball, 19% of the time. So Thomas Pannone, I can see that why the Cubs want to take a look at him. And, we'll see what he looks like in spring training, but we'll be interested to follow it. Thomas Pannone. The second lefty we're going to talk about is Richard Lovelady. Richard is 28 years old. He'll be 29 July 7th. 6', 185 lefty out of Hinesville, Georgia. Played collegiately at Kennesaw State. In 2016 at Kennesaw State, he goes 4-3 with a sub-3 ERA at 2.96, 45 2/3 innings, whip of 1.204, 10.2 strikeouts per 9, 5 walks per 9. Kansas City Royals select him in the 10th round of the 2016 draft. He signs. Assigned to rookie ball in 2016, does really well. Throws 21 games in rookie ball, a 1.8 ERA in 25 innings, 10.8 strikeouts per 9, sub-1 whip, .920. Pretty good first stint. Rookie ball for Richard Lovelady went really well. In 2017, pitches for 2 teams. Starts out with the Wilmington Blue Rocks and finishes up with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Combined in 2017 in 42 games, he's got a 1.62 ERA, 66 and two-thirds innings, a sub-1 whip at .94, over 10 strikeouts per nine, and only walked 2.3. Guys, that really looks good. 2017, very impressive season with the two teams, High A and Double A Northwest Arkansas Naturals. 2018, he starts with their AAA affiliate, the Omaha Storm Chasers. In 46 games, 73 innings, he's got a 2.47 ERA, right at a 1 whip, 1.014, 8.8 strikeouts per nine, 2.6 walks per nine. Guys, 3 years in, Richard Lovelady is on the fast track. I mean, he's pretty much been relatively dominant in his first 3 seasons. So let's see what happens. 2019, he gets promoted to the big leagues on April 9th. So he's in the bigs early, goes 25 games, 20 innings. It doesn't go great, 7.65 ERA. All right. So 3 years in, he just tracks right along, makes his major league debut in 2019. It doesn't go that well. He gets hit around a little bit. Then in 2020, COVID year. So he has to sit out. 2021, it doesn't go well either. After a slow start, 3.48 ERA, just 20 games, only pitched 20 and two-thirds innings. He was hurt. Found out he needed Tommy John surgery. So Richard Lovelady has Tommy John surgery on the 30th, but he's hurt after only 20 innings of 2021. So he misses the rest of the 21 season and misses the 22 season. So here's what we've got. Richard Lovelady hits the professional baseball world in 2016 and does really well. Makes it to the bigs basically 3 years later in early April of his 4th year. Misses the 20 season, COVID. He's hurt, has Tommy John surgery, misses the 21 season, misses the entire 22 season. That's 22 season is gone. 3 years he's lost. So now in 2023, they trade him to the Braves on March 30th. The Braves DFA'd him. He was claimed off waivers by the A's 2 weeks later on April 13th. So in 2023, he pitches for the A's, 27 games, 4.63 ERA in 23 and a third. He gets hurt again. He's got a forearm issue. July 23rd, they announced that he's done for the rest of the year. So what does a healthy 28-year-old Richard Lovelady do? Well, I mean, what's he capable of? If you take what he did, the first 4 years, it could be something. So I'm looking forward to watching Richard Lovelady. He throws a slide. He's got an 86-mile-an-hour slide piece that he threw 47% of the time with the A's. I just took the numbers from what he did with the A's in 2023. He's got a four-seamer 31% of the time, 91 mile per hour. And he has a 91-mile-an-hour sinker that he threw about 21% of the time. So Richard Lovelady, the stuff happens to these guys. And he had a great start. Things went wrong. And now he's 28 years old. Hopefully he's healthy. So we'll see what Richard Lovelady has. It's going to be interesting to watch. Now let's tell the story of Brad Wieck. A lot of us are relatively familiar with Brad. He's a 32-year-old lefty, big guy, 6'8", 257, out of Amarillo, Texas. And out of high school, he went to Frank Phillips College in Borger, Texas. And the Phillies actually selected him in the 29th round of the 2012 draft. He didn't sign. He ends up transferring to Oklahoma City University in Oklahoma City. Pitches a couple years for them. Then in the 2014 draft, the Mets select him in the 7th round, and he signs. So he's in the Mets organization in 2014. Starts rookie ball with the Brooklyn Cyclones. Doesn't pitch much, goes 1-1 with a 1.4 ERA. In 2015, he starts the season with the Low A Savannah Sand Gnats. That's the Sand Gnats of Savannah. GNATS, Sand Gnats in Low A. The Mets trade Brad to the Padres. So midseason 2015, he goes to the Padres organization. Padres assign him to the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, and then pretty soon they promote him to the High A Lake Elsinore Storm. This is the point where they made him a reliever. He had been a starter in college up to this point, but I think his 90 mile an hour per hour fastball made them decide to go ahead and make him a reliever. So at this point, moving forward in 2016, Brad Wieck is a reliever. Starts 2016 with the Double-A San Antonio Missions, goes 4-1 with a phenomenal ERA, 1.17, 93 strikeouts in just 61 and a third innings. So at this point, Brad Wieck is looking really good. 2017, he's with the El Paso Chihuahuas. In 7 games, his ERA blows up to 10.29. So he sort of ran into a wall in his first attempt at AAA. They demote him back to San Antonio. He regroups, goes 2-1 with a 2.64 ERA in 31 games. Impressive enough that the Padres add him to the 40-man roster at the end of that season. November, they added him to protect him from the December of 2017 Rule 5 draft. So, drafted in 2014, rookie ball, 2015, low A, high A, triple A, gets bumped down, regroups. Next thing you know, he's on the 40-man roster. So at the end of 2017, Brad Wieck is looking good. In 2018, he gets promoted to the big club in September of 2018. Pitches 5 games, 7 innings, 10 Ks, and 1 earned run. Brad Wieck he's made it. He's knocking on the door. And then this happens. Here comes the story. The story of Brad Wieck. 2019, he has cancer surgery. Early 2019, January 2019. Okay, so he's out. On July 31st, 2019, that's when he's traded to the Cubs for Carl Edwards Jr., which is kind of interesting. Carl Edwards Jr. and Brad Wieck were traded for each other in 2019, and now they're both in Cubs spring training at Mesa, both on non-roster invites on minor league contracts. Baseball's great. Baseball is just a story. It's this story after story, and that's an interesting one for me. So Brad Wieck misses the whole season, cancer surgery, and then 2020 comes, and it happened to him too. That 2020 season disrupted him, trying to rehab, trying to get back, and it just didn't have enough season to do it. So he starts the 2021 season at Iowa. Then on July 23rd of 2021, his irregular heartbeat condition resurfaces. So he has to have what's called an ablation procedure, and it was his second one. So because it was his second one, he had this irregular heartbeat issue earlier. They did this ablation procedure, probably helped it. So it reoccurs after he had cancer surgery. So he's just having trouble staying healthy. In 2022, he's not healthy again. He has an elbow strain, turns into him needing Tommy John surgery. Sometimes it's hard to take when you see these guys. Some of the stuff that's out of their control. Brad Wieck was on the door. He was knocking on the door of becoming a big league pitcher that was going to be effective, and then all of a sudden, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, he just has issues. So he's outrighted off the 40-man, elects free agency. Cubs re-sign him on a 2-year minor league deal on January 4th of 2022. So he's just now ready to come back, 2024. So I'm looking at my notes, and it's like, okay, cancer surgery 2019. He hasn't been healthy since. Guys, that's 5 years. Brad Wieck's 32 years old. So what do we expect from Brad Wieck? I don't know. But you sure have to root for a guy. That's the thing about I'm a Cub fan, and I believe I'm a really good Cub fan. And I think I'm a better Cub fan when I'm knowledgeable. And I'm not just talking about knowledge about the game. I'm talking about knowledgeable about the players. Like when you see them, to know who they are, where they're from. Were they a blue chipper early? Were they a late bloomer? What's their background? What's their story? I think it makes for more of a buy-in in these guys when you have their background. That's why I thought it was important that I fill my playlist with profiles on our players. You got questions on them. Well, where are they from? What have they done? Brad Wieck, the first time Brad Wieck gets on the mound at Wrigley, if he ever does, can you imagine the emotion that's going to go through that he'll feel? And now we'll know. So we're going to root for Brad Wieck, see what happens, and we'll pay attention very closely this spring. The fourth pitcher we have is Edwin Escobar, 32 years old, 6'2", 225, out of Venezuela. He was signed by the Rangers in the international free agent draft of 2008. Played rookie ball in 2009 in the Ranger organization. In 2010, the Rangers traded Edwin to the Giants. Giants assigned him to their low-A affiliate, the Salem Kaiser Volcanoes, where he pitched 14 games. In 2011, he starts the season at Single-A Augusta Green Jackets, goes 3-7 with a 6.58 ERA in 52 innings. So it didn't really go that well, but Edwin's a young guy. So in 2012, they reassign him to Single-A Augusta Green Jackets. He goes 7-8 with a 2.96 ERA in 130 2/3 innings. So it goes really well. In fact, it goes so well. This is how talented Edwin Escobar is. He's 2 years into his pro career, and the Giants added Edwin to the 40-man roster after the 2012 season. So they were high on him then. 2013, he splits time between the high-A San Jose Giants and the double-A Richmond Flying Squirrels. Yeah, the Flying Squirrels of Richmond. Double-A affiliate with the Giants. He goes 8-8 with a 2.8 ERA in 26 games in 2013. Very solid. So in 2014, he starts with the AAA affiliate, the Fresno Grizzlies. Then on July 26th, he's traded to the Red Sox. So the Red Sox got him on July 26th. They end up 2 weeks later, they called him up. He makes his major league debut on August 10th against the Blue Jays. So here we are. Talented Edwin Escobar signs in 2008, young guy, 18 years old, and he's made his major league debut. See, that's what these guys have. These four guys have major league talent. Had it, lost it, command issues, who knows. But I think that's what makes them all intriguing. They have all made it at some point in their careers in the major leagues. Why they lost it, injuries, issues, all the above. But they're all very intriguing. Back to Edwin. 2015 spends the majority of the season with the Red Sox AAA affiliate in Pawtucket. Then in 2016, he's DFA'd on April 20th. The Diamondbacks claim him. Just a few days later, he plays in 25 games for Arizona in 2016. Then he gets DFA'd again. The Cleveland Indians claimed him off waivers on November 18th, so he's just getting bounced around. Who knows? Roster issues. On January 10th of 2017, Cleveland goes ahead and releases him. So at this point, you can probably see Edwin's frustration, right? In a very short period of time, he's up and down and back and forth and DFA'd a couple times, claimed on waivers. So he ends up signing a contract with a team in Japan in the Nippon Professional Baseball, NPB. 2017, January 11th, he signs a one-year contract with a team in Japan for $775,000. He ends up spending 7 seasons over there playing for that team in the NPB. It's actually a teammate of Shota's. And Shota knows him very well, played with him for years. So I'm wondering if Edwin's invite has anything to do with maybe Shota recommended him, said, told maybe he didn't, I don't know. Just maybe a coincidence. But he was a teammate of Shota's on that team in Japan. I'll give you his numbers. In his last 7 seasons in the NPB, 395 games, 392 1/3 innings, 3.17 ERA, 8.8 strikeouts per 9, 3.3 walks per 9. So pretty decent numbers. In his 2 stints in the major leagues 2 seasons, parts of these 2 seasons. Total of 25 2/3 innings, 7.01 ERA, 1.792 WHIP. So that's his major league numbers. But we'll have to see. So, these 4 guys, lefties, all coming in on a non-roster invitee with a minor league contract. They're all very similar. You can kind of see what the Cubs started with. The Cubs probably had an idea. We want an experienced veteran lefty that would be kind of dependable, we can kind of count on. And they got guys that have been there before but have had setbacks. And they're at the age now, maybe they're ready. Maybe one of these guys pops to the surface. I don't know. But we got a lot of choices. This list of pitchers, the 7 righties and these 4 lefties, a non-roster invitee. I know the chances are remote, right? If you make this Cubs pitching staff, you got to be really good. I mean, you look at what we've got lined up. This would be the group. These 4 lefties would be in the group that I would classify as the 4th group of 4 of pitchers who are going to make the roster. I mean, this is a long shot for sure, but to me it feels really good to know that it's a long shot for any of these 4 guys to make it. But if you needed them, I think would be reason for optimism on pretty much all 4 of them. So the depth is there. The signings that we made to create the depth, I think, is definitely there. So I'm really happy about that. I like our depth. But back to this pitching roster. I mean, there's going to be some really good pitchers who don't make the opening day roster. There's going to be some guys that we're like, wow, they're really good. If you make it, it's going to be incredible. Which leads me to this. Now that I've talked about the 7 right-handers and the 4 left-handers, I don't know if you've noticed it or if you talked about it, but Cade Horton, the number 2 overall prospect, wasn't invited. He's not on the 40-man roster, and he's not been invited to spring training. And there's got to be a reason for that. What is the reason that you invite a David Bodie? And I'll talk about that. I did talk about that on a previous video. And we didn't invite Cade Horton. So what's the reason we didn't invite Cade Horton? Well, he's number 2 prospect. Maybe they just decided that they're not going to put him in a position to demand him to be dependent on. Maybe they just said, we're just going to take that pressure off him, let him develop, let him go. We've got a ton of pitchers, so maybe there's no reason to do that. And so there's reasons for all these signings. And when you get to know and understand the profiles of these 4 lefties, kind of makes sense. I think we're in good shape. It's going to be interesting. Spring training today is, I've recorded this on February 14th. Pitchers and catchers are playing today. I know it's Valentine's Day, but pitchers and catchers is what happened today for me. Guys, hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you tuning in, watching Randy Talks Cubs here on Cubs 24/7. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Go Cubs, go.